Poetry is like a bonsai tree. So, what is so special about a bonsai tree? It has everything that an ordinary tree possesses, despite its size. You forget its dimensions. The intricate design within its miniature body is something amazing, very complex. Just like that, a poet can also bring a universe down to the small world he creates with his poem. You may know artists who can create great works of art with a few brushstrokes, poets who can create worlds with a few words. True geniuses they are. You read them and suddenly you find yourself disturbed. Those poems stop you on your track, make you turn around, and ask you to take a second look at what you have just read and pass by. You read the poem again with a shudder in your spine. And for many days after reading such a poem, those words and the images that the poet has created will continue haunting you. Here is one such poem by a French writer, Jean Follain. The name of the poem, Music of the Spheres. You might have heard about this belief, music of spheres, held by great Western thinkers of yore like Pythagoras. They believed that celestial bodies, including the sun, the moon, and other planets, as they moved around in their orbits, created some kind of music, celestial music, some kind of symphony, but not audible to us, the poor humans. So you should have that in your mind as you read this, as you listen to this poem, the poem. He was walking a frozen road. In his pocket, iron keys were jingling. And with his pointed shoe, absent-mindedly, he kicked the cylinder of an old can. We don't know who that man is, the character that the poet introduces at the beginning of the poem is. We see that man walking down the road. It is night time. We can also sense the silence pervading in the atmosphere of the poem. The only sound coming is the jingling of the keys from his pocket. We also did that as children in our school days. We found it fun to kick those empty cans that we stumbled across as we came back from school. So the poem begins without much drama. The only thing that we notice is a man coming down the road and the noise of keys jingling from his pocket. And it is night time. He finds an empty can on the middle of the road and he kicks it absent-mindedly. He kicked the cylinder of an old can, which for a few seconds rolled its cold emptiness, wobbled for a while and stopped. Under a sky studded with stars. This is the moment when the universe comes down to the earth. Just imagine that scene. He kicks that old can, which for a few seconds rolled its cold emptiness, wobbled for a few seconds, and finally comes to a stop. But the poem, it doesn't stop. The poetic lens zooms out from the old can to include the night sky studded with millions of stars. From the empty can to the universe. What a sight that could be. What a dramatic shift in perspective. From the empty can, we the readers are thrown into the infinite space. Maybe we are that old can, being kicked into life by somebody. We wobble for a while before we come to a stop. That may be the end of our brief life as we know it. But then, as we see in the poem, where the can comes to a stop, where that brief life comes to a stop, we see the infinite beginning. The poet doesn't give us any explanation at the end of the poem, doesn't give us any clue. But when we see that still can in the middle of the road that has come to a stop, and the immense sky above it, we feel something that cannot be put into words. Well, that vague sensation of awe and wonder, trepidation and fear that we feel in our blood as we read the conclusion, that is what the poem wants to evoke in us. We get so near, to the infinite.